every, around this time of year, just, we're experiencing fires.
Let's connect with a man who is in the thick of the action. Ibrahim Abubakar is in the Ashanti region. He is with our Northern Bureau. Ibra, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, John.
Now, you tell us, give us a background of this inferno at the KJTL market. When exactly did it start and how did it start? Do we know?
Okay, so Johnny, this fire, it didn't start off, it didn't occur in the main KJTL market. I mean, the new place. This is just a section of the central market where part is being redeveloped for the second phase of the KJTL market. So after they were done with the second phase, then they would have come and clear where it got burnt recently as the third phase of the KJTL market. So it was on Sunday around 7:30 thereabout when the fire started. In fact, according to some people who were around there, like, Helen said, because we are inching closer to the Christmas season, now the traders do not have off days. They go to market from Monday to start Sunday. So on Sunday, some of them were around. They were in their various shops. Then they realized there was smoke coming out from one of the shops. They claimed there were intermittent power outages. And most of these traders who have refrigerators in their shops hardly put them off even when they close and they were going home. So where it started, they had two refrigerators on, and the smoke started coming. They thought that this is something they can control it, and they can bring it under control. Right. So they wanted to fight the fire on their own. But unfortunately, it just escalated, and before they could rush to the nearest fire station to report to them, which is Menchia, and come back, the fire had spread quickly to other shops. Now, the reason why it spread quickly is that the shops are very close to each other. Some are metal container shops, some too are wooden shops. So the spread was very quick. Moving from one structure to the other was just very swift. And another thing that made it spread very, very quickly had to do with gas cylinders in some of the shops of the traders. Now, when the fire was even burning, when I got to the scene, intermittently, you could hear explosion from one shop to the other.
Wow.
As soon as the fire spread to one shop, you could hear explosion, and it will move quickly to the other shop. So it even made the firefighters' job very, very difficult because they also couldn't predict what will happen next. In fact, when they got to the scene, initially they were waiting for officials from the ECG to cut off the power so that they will be able to enter into the market and start fighting the fire. And like we always talk, accessibility was a challenge. So they come there, even access to the place was a problem. They need to wait for a time before clearing all the containers from some end, moving their trucks to the fire scene just to start dousing the flames. Mm-hmm. Now, at a point, 5 tenders were there, but still they couldn't all access the place. So one had to fight the fire. When the water finishes, then they come back for the other to go. And like Helen said, issue of fire hydrants has been with us. Anytime these fires start, you go there, you realize that containers have been built on fire hydrants. The available ones or the ones that you could access is also not functioning. So it was very, very difficult for them. They had to move their vehicle from the fire scene to Bremen, which is quite a distance, just to be able to refill and come back. Honestly, I didn't understand why the whole of Kumasi, they couldn't get water. They had to go that far to come because they were telling me most of the fire hydrants within Kumasi were not functioning, so they couldn't access water. Then we were expecting that since KJTL, the new KJTL market was very close, they could go there and get it, but they had to move there. So that contributed to the loss that we saw. So within some few minutes, it spread quickly. That Sunday, we were saying around 50 shops, but yesterday, when I got to the scene, then I was able to observe the extent of damage. Tony, I can tell you more than 250 shops had been raised down.
Wow.
Everything bent. And like we all know, because we are approaching the Christmas, people had doubled their production. People had restocked. Everybody wants to cash in. People have gone in for loans just to be able to fill their shops. And they woke up, everything is gone. Now what is happening is that most of them have begun rebuilding, even though city authorities have asked them to wait until the fire service personnel conclude with their investigation. They are saying they know what caused the fire. They were there when it happened. They've explained to the fire service personnel. So they cannot wait for any other investigation to go on. After the investigation, nothing will come out of it. That's what they think. So they are in a hurry to return to business and at least be able to see whether they will sell one or two things just to be able to repay their loans and do other things. So yesterday, before even the authorities would say Jack, others who had the financial muscles have started rebuilding. This morning I passed by the place very briefly and I saw that most of them in fact have raised the building and they, like I said, as quick as possible, as soon as possible, they want to return to business and start cashing in.
Ibra, I want to hold you on a bit. Let's go back to 8 months ago where you went to cover another fire story. This time it was at the Kejetia market. A bit of the report. Listen.
So it's been a hectic day for personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service as they try to douse flames at the new Kejetia market. Now it's been hours since they came here trying to contain the situation. I've seen several fire tenders coming in and going out, all trying to salvage the situation. As you can see, some of the traders are also doing everything possible to salvage some of their properties. So some of them have moved up there, even though it's too dangerous for them. We are unable to tell the exact number of shops that have been affected, but the fire keeps spreading. Well, the fire service personnel are doing everything possible to contain the situation.
And my sister Fupaso by Memane and Nema de Memanini. It's me imagine Saturday and Macquaco Fan Yamanaba and Yamani Nash.
Mr. Waha, the Union said Jano and Musieba, Yantaman to me a day and Yamani Yafaha, near Shia and Musianida, Yafa near Shia. That's right, there's all beyond my father and Yama. Yato Mama jeans, T-shirt, and Manning grab on time. They say a near man, they say a near man side here. Yet to me, body.
My major Munet, the one your friend says she may buy Medri and of that. I'm not winning. No money for return panties and boxes and entire.
So, Ibra, that was your report 8 months ago at the Kejetia market. Question that readily comes to mind is, will our people ever learn?
John, in fact, that's even 9 months ago, because it was in March 15th.
Absolutely,
15th
absolutely,
of March.
yes.
And the situation remains the same. And that place, it was also, we were told people were using gas cylinders and it had to spread quickly. And Johnny, as we speak, it's been 9 months. The place remains as it is. The bank area has been cordoned off. Traders or affected traders are still at home. So some have just managed to force themselves in the market and be selling their wares on the ground. Authorities investigations were done. We were told that the place will be reconstructed for them to come. Some support, form of support will come for them to bounce back to business. So they, as we speak, in fact, it was the even vice president who came to give them that assurance. But till date, nothing has come, and most of the traders, like I said, are at home. And these fire issues, I heard Helen starting with it. When will we stop discussing about it? Now it appears that in a year, if we don't record fire or market fire, then it rather becomes a news that, hey, this year we've not recorded any market fire. It is news. If you will record it, it has become a norm, something which shouldn't, because we keep repeating the same mistakes. Anytime fire service will come in conduct their investigations, bring the recommendation. Yet we don't use it. As we speak, the new KJTR market does not have fire certificates. Some recommendations made by the fire service personnel have still not been worked on. I mean, even the fire hose saying it's not compatible with their vehicles and other things. So as we speak, we just don't pray it happens. Should a fire outbreak occurs at the new KJTR market, the fire service personnel will get there with their vehicle. When the water in the vehicle finishes, they have to go somewhere and get the water, because the fire hose or the fire hydrants that have been provided, the map and that of the one the fire service is using is not compatible. They've told them to change it. Nothing has been done to it, and players keep losing huge sums of investment, all their livelihoods. But we keep repeating the same mistakes, and nothing comes out of it.
Ibra, thank you very much indeed for your time. We're grateful. Ibrahim Abubakar there. William.
Do we need to recap all that we said 9 months ago and 2 years ago, last year? I don't know, but this market fires especially is just, why can't we just apply the law? Because you're not supposed to send gas cylinders to the market. You're not supposed to cook there. You're not supposed to cook in the market. The market should be designed such that we have restaurants that are designated with proper fire safety equipment, everything there. They cook. You go and buy the food and you eat. You see people even, they pound food there. Yes, in the market. You go, you see. Yes, gas. So it's like Ibrahim was saying, he looks like there's nothing that the government can do about this. Because the law is clear. The markets the assemblies have bylaws. And these markets are not operating in a vacuum. Whatever is happening in the market is guided by a certain law, a certain rule. They are just ignoring the rules. These same women and men in the market will come and cry when they lose their wares to the fires. And then the next time they will go back. How much are you eating that you have to take your gas stove to the kitchen? How much? Yeah. How much are you eating? How much food are you eating? Mm-hmm. Why do you want to go and cook there and eat?
To the extent that
it's become a general
of us coming to work and we are coming to cook in our college.
It's become a general thing. Not just KJT. I mean, generally in every market. I mean, Carnation market. When it bends you, the same thing. Circle pedestrian market, same thing. Somebody trying to cook, and they find it more convenient because today they want to eat maybe a bunu and something.
But it's there, it's available.
Well, no, they want to cook because they are friends with the woman who sells the kontomire, who also is a friend to the one who sells tomatoes, and so they prepare the food there. I mean, people actually also sleep in the markets.
Yes,
and then in the evenings when the eateries are closed, they want to prepare their own food, and that's where the problem.
To sleep there?
They are not supposed to be sleeping
there. That's the thing. The law is clear. The rules are clear.
But then, so who allows them into those places?
Because the authorities are not working. They go and sleep. That's the point. Because you're not supposed to sleep there.
Or maybe they don't sleep, but they are in agreement on the site.
Well, we know here when the rent control officer told us that the kiosk is an apartment that somebody and it's counted as a house in Ghana. So the law is not even working. Confusing.
That's
so
true.
If you are telling me as a rent officer that you count that as a decent accommodation, who am I to go and tell the person that she can't
Kiosk
sleep
and
there?
Containers are counted as decent accommodation in the country. And it's actually printed on paper.
That's right.
In a report.
Yes.
Right? As a demographic
yes.
report.
Oh, yes.
You ask them where are the washrooms. Say, the markets have washrooms, they have toilets.
They are part of it.
So they are counted as accommodation. So who are you to go and tell the market woman that she can't sleep in her own kiosk?
And before we spoke with our colleague Ibrahim Abubakar, when I saw this news item pop up on our relevant pages, I didn't even go into it. I just knew what he was about to say. So not having even heard the previous reports, because I'm going to be very honest, I'm tired of these markets. I knew he was going to say the fire tenders were an issue issue. Getting access into the affected area was an issue. People were preventing all the same issues. And to think now, he says it's not even 50, 250 containers. Some of them had gone to pick fresh products, double,
stuff.
triple, to make sales for the Christmas time.
Yes.
Well, if you are also in the market operating there, we now have to be vigilant. If you are seeing people cooking, you're also going to join your party to eat the bunebun. Well, look at what happens. We have to start following the rules. Otherwise, it will become normal to the extent that the years that we don't record fires, that's what is news.
No, but all of us are working. These market women are also working, and market men are also working. Why is it that they want to cook personally what they eat, and you and I don't bring our gas stoves to office to come? It's just it's just some orientation that we need to.
You know.
Do you know what I want to eat this morning?
You know the thing with our market women are that they see themselves as being in a league of their own.
No, they can't be.
You know I grew up at Kanishi. My grandmother had 2 stalls at Kanishi, the Kanishi market itself.
Okay.
So Kanishi is not supposed to be as rowdy as it is now. Kanishi is supposed to be a mall of a sort. So you have your store. There's a space in between you and the other. So about 3 or 4 blocks, and then there's a space. My grandmother had, a place that we used to go, mini shop, and you're okay, and all of that. Now, in between those mini shops, and even in front of those mini shops, when you go to Kanishi Market, people have taken over. All right. So that kind of relationship that obi anyo bias bukom baku say abombo klat mo femo.
So now they are clogging those spaces.
They have clogged them.
So that when the fire personnel come,
you say they are clogging them.
or they have clogged
Try
them overclogged.
and go to Kanishi Market. You know the Kanishi Market, the market itself is
Yes.
there. And then all of that park is supposed to be a lorry park.
Yeah, it's not
like
market.
Accra Mall. When you go to Accra Mall, you have lorry park, and you can actually park your vehicles, go in shop, come back, and come in. The market itself has put Bola on one side, right? They have created a dump site on one side of the place. The trotro drivers have also taken over a large portion of it. So if you drive your car today and you go to the Kanishi Market and you're looking for a parking space, it's going to be difficult for you.
Why have we made our marketplaces war zone?
And on the pavements of the markets, right? Just the frontage before you get into the market, it's a selling place. People lay their jute bags on the floor, and then they are selling
can get
their
anything,
tomatoes
shoes,
and
anything,
everything is being sold. So it's a big problem. It's a big problem also because we have concentrated everything at one place. When Henry Cote moved the onion sellers from Agbogbuloshi, right, to Ajeng Kotoku, what did we put there? We treated them like we're treating, just the way we're treating the secondary school kids. The textbooks, exercise books, food, detergents, beds, mattresses, desks, they're supposed to be in the school before the children come to school. But they are not there. So we said, let's move them Ajeng Kotoku, and we took them there, bare land. No sheds, nothing. How do you expect them to survive there? 1. Number 2, you are also asking people to go to that place to go and shop for their onions in bulk quantity. But the road leading to that place itself is not good. So would I go to Ajeng Kotoku, or would I still come to Arena or Agbogbuloshi, or will I go to Makola, or will I go to Kanishi or Malamata, or any other market that I find convenient which is closer to me? It's a common sense question and analysis to make.
You mentioned Accra Mall. If you go to the mall today, there's a certain market on the side of the mall.
Yes.
They couldn't cross over the market, the road, and get into the lorry park because the law there will not allow you.
Yeah.
But if you give them the space, you're not even the oval.
Yes.
The middle of the oval. If you allow them, they'll get there. So it is just that nobody is taking anybody in this country. It's as simple as that. The mall area that you are mentioning, people are there doing the same thing that is messing up.
The mall area. I remember that I did some undercover work with Percy. Percy is now in the UK, but Percy was a cameraman who was here. I did some undercover work with Percy, and Ladma officials in Ladma Metro Guard uniforms with their reflector, with the inscription on the back. They were supposed to sack the people selling on the pavement, and they were rather collecting 2 CDs from the people. We videoed them. So the least they did was they suspended them for some time, but they continuous. If you go to the mall now, right, preceding there. I think that now they have even legitimized it and they collect monies from the people. But you see, that's another leg of the conversation because it's not fair. When you take big rent from the people in the mall, they are targeted, GRA, everybody comes to them. And then some people are selling the same things they are selling at maybe a cheaper rate
Much
because
cheaper.
they are not paying all those things that GRA, blah, 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 blah. And then you're creating unnecessary competition.
I want to know whether our problem is it one of just sheer indiscipline or desperation? Because even at a newly constructed, was it Pokwasi interchange, you had a father-daughter duo setting up their own mobile chop bar there
on the
until they were.
pavements.
Any least chance you get, you turn around and the place has going to the market is such a grueling and
You see,
and torturous affair. Just to go and buy a few items, you have to go through heaven and hell. On the weekends,
is-
when my mother said, "Let's go to the market," I don't want
It
to
is
go there.
just a lack of application of the law, so far as I'm concerned. Look, if you go to the US, they have the same problem, but the laws work.
Let me engage Alex
Hello,
King
work.
Nati. He speaks for the Ghana National Fire Service. Alex, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir, Johnny. Good morning. It's glad to be on your show again.
Great. I know that you are on to us now, but we want to quickly engage you. Number one, the market fires, will it ever end?
Unfortunately, and so one, as a people, we change our attitude towards the way we do our things, and also about being able to prioritize our fire safety as much as we prioritize our security. It's unfortunate that we don't see an end in sight anytime soon.
The people have been adamant. Don't cook in the markets, don't sleep there, don't light this, don't light that. And they still do that. Is it time for the fire service to collaborate maybe with the market authorities and local assembly to have task force of a sort to go around and enforce these things?
You just as you were saying, I was listening to you just as you were talking about the LADMA officials who are collecting money from people. Enforcement becomes a problem. One, the political will is obviously one of the things that comes into play. Our politicians are scared of losing elections, so obviously the will to make sure that they crack the whip becomes a problem. Also, these same market authorities are a problem because these same market authorities look on unconcerned as people, on the hydrants that are supposed to serve these markets. So enforcement is a challenge, and we are hoping that I don't know, with a paradigm shift, things might get better.
These fires require your attention sometimes at very inconvenient times, and also for you to act with a certain speed. Number one, does the Ghana National Fire Service have the capacity to deal with these fires, especially as we get towards the Utah season?
Well, to be very honest with you, I would say we are trying, but we might not be able to meet up with the kind of pressures that we are confronted with if we should go into Christmas with the current circumstances we are facing.
How do you mean?
Well, the unfortunate thing is that as honest and as painful as this might be, most of our appliances have broken down. Most of our fire tenders are out of commission. I can say off the top of my head about 60% or more of our appliances are broken down. It poses a very big problem.
60% of your appliances have broken down.
Yes.
Wow.
I can mention some places. Wager, for instance, the appliance has broken down. A big place like Amasaman, the appliance has broken down. Medina, Adenta, we don't have an appliance there as we speak. Trade Fair, the appliances are breaking down. So there was a fire yesterday at Lamam, and our headquarters had to respond to those fires. Last year, between 25th and 26th, we recorded 226 fires. And even with that, some of our appliances were working. So it becomes quite worrying looking at how the current situation we are facing. If we are to be faced with the same number of fires that we were confronted with last year, Ghana might be sitting on the time bomb.
Explain to me. So let's say fire happens at Sotum. Which fire station would deal with that? There's none at the Dokko, Sotum?
I did. So Yes.
Your line is breaking. You need to position yourself again.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it better now?
It's better.
Okay. So, about last Omanjo, and the appliance had to come all the way from our headquarters at Dankwa Circle to attend to the fire.
So Omanjo, it has to come from Omanjo, and then
No, the fire was at Omanjo.
Okay.
And our appliance at Amasaman is broken down even as at now. The appliance at Abilinkwi was also broken down as at that time. So the appliance had to come all the way from our headquarters at Dankwa Circle to attend to the fire at Omanjo.
these fire tenders that have broken down, how old are they?
Some are 15 years and some are almost 15 years, which is very unfortunate because ideally, every 5 years, these appliances. Our administration has been doing their best to try and fix these appliances because at the end of the day, they end up using our meager internally generated funds to service these appliances. These appliances, mind you, are custom made and they are not on the market where you can easily go and purchase them. So hence, when they get broken down, it becomes quite a challenge. You might not even get a pack to buy. So you always have to do alteration, and so alteration upon alteration, which is not a permanent fix, keeps the car breaking down.
Have you raised these concerns about the dangers associated with the fact that we have machines that are broken down, 60% of them, and that they have exceeded their lifespan? Have you raised these issues with your ministry, for example, of Interior?
Yes, our chief and our directors have been doing that. Also at the district and municipal assembly level, the DISEC and the DISEC level, they've been drawing the attention of the municipal assemblies to these looming danger. And well, we are hoping government listens the process of procurement so that we'll both safe and then perform our mandate much better.
These machines, we're getting into a time when you have a lot of pressure on them. Would you honestly, from your assessment as a professional, say that they are fit for purpose to withstand the pressure that is coming?
I would say 50-50. 50-50 because they are old. They obviously realize that even with a saloon car, when you buy it brand new and you use it after some time, it gets worn out.
Right.
These appliances also, mind you, have a lifespan. And most of these fire stations attend to about 3 or 4 fires in a day. Contrary to opinion where people say they see men sitting down playing darts or cards, you see, we go for fires as much as 3 to 4 times in a day. So, and once they go, the engines do not go off. The engines have to be on, and the same engine tend to power the water pump. That pumps the water to give pressure. So it makes it wear out very, very shortly, and it becomes a big problem for us. So I'll say 50-50. The ones that are in operation, we are doing our best. It doesn't have speed. If it has to go for fires, the speed becomes a problem because it's obviously old.
What kind of pressure does this put on personnel?
It puts a lot of pressure on personnel because then personally, every time there's fires, I have to personally be there, and then when I go there, I let them know of the kind of situation that our men are always at the receiving end of attacks during fires. That personally, the one at Omanjo, for instance, I was there when people were attacking our men for coming late. I had to mediate and tell them that, look, put pressure on your assembly, put pressure on your MP, so that demand that they give you fire stations, because as a people, we are very much worried about our security much more than our safety. We realize that when these fires happen, these market fires, for instance, you realize that you go to the market and they have so many padlocks they have so many padlocks blocking these markets,
Right.
but they do not have a single fire extinguisher. Hence, when our men arrive at the fire scene, it becomes a problem being able to get through to these places to be able to fight the fire. And obviously, we have to get access into the market to be able to fight the fires. Accessibility has always been a problem because poor demarcation inside the market tend to hinder our performance, because obviously we need to be able to get very close to the scene of the fire to be able to fight the fires. But in most cases that is not the case, because then they've built their shops, because obviously for profit, they've built their shops so close to the so close to each other,
Okay.
making it difficult for even an Aboboya to get to not talk about the fire tender. So
Okay.
it poses a big problem for us.
Tell me, have you done a census or conducted a census of how many fire hydrants we have in Ghana?
You see, the hydrant issue is a problem. There's been times when our crew at Amasaman, for instance, when there's been personally a time.
No. I want you to give me the answer to the first one. We can get to other things. Have you done a census on hydrants in Ghana to know how many you have as a Ghana National Fire Service?
Yes, our operations department has done that, but I'm yet to familiarize myself with the number as of now.
Okay. So now, how many are functional? I mean, and I'm asking this as a sequel to the first, if you know.
Okay, so I can probably give a percentage-wise, but not an accurate figure.
I'll appreciate that.
Just about 40% might be functional as we speak.
So 60% of your machines are dead, 60% of your hydrants are dead. So fire service is operating at a 40% capacity, not in terms of personnel, but in terms of what you need to work.
Exactly, because when it comes to personnel and the will of the personnel, I'll definitely do my hat to the personnel. The personnel always put themselves in harm's way just for the service of Ghana. But the unfortunate thing is that the facilities to work becomes a problem. As we speak, we have a fire. As we speak, we have a fire station at Amomole and a fire station at Awoshi Market.
Right.
The unfortunate thing is that we have men there, but we do not have a single appliance over there. So our men go to work every day doing education, and if there's any fire around that place, they might not be able to get in to fight the fire.
So you have men enough to post to places, but there are no fire stations and equipment for them to work with.
Exactly. We have a lot of men who run shifts there, but the fire tender becomes a problem when you go to Amasaman. When you go to Amasaman right now, if you go to Amasaman right now, we have a lot of personnel there. The unfortunate thing is that we don't have the appliances there for the men who can man the fires.
I see. Well, Alex is joining us in studio now. We're doing online and offline now. 40%. I see. Good to have you here in studio and online as well. We'll wrap up the conversation in a bit. And I'm sure that the revelations have been startling for you. Yeah. Careful you don't burn. Alex King, welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much, Johnny.
Okay, now let's talk about fire hydrants. Are they functional? The 40%.